Apple Music's best albums list is here, and it's handing over the crown to none other than Lauryn Hill. 26 years ago, on August 25th, 1998, Lauryn Hill dropped her first and only studio album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And today, we'll be diving into what it is about her music that keeps fans from all over the world coming back for more. One of the greatest musicians to grace the music industry is back in the headlines, and it's none other than the legendary Lauryn Hill. It's been 20 years since Hill's debut solo album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, hit the shelves and took the music world by storm. But of course, this wasn't just any album. Back in 1999, at the 41st Grammy Awards, Lauryn Hill made history in a way no one saw coming. She became the first woman to win 5 awards in a single night. To top it all off, her album was the first hip-hop record ever to win Album of the Year. Fast forward to now, and Hill is still stealing the show. Apple Music just rolled out its list of the 10 greatest albums of all time, and guess who claimed the top spot? You got it, Lauryn Hill's The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. This iconic album has outshined timeless classics from musical legends like Beyonce, The Beatles, Michael Jackson, Prince, Stevie Wonder, Kendrick Lamar, Amy Winehouse, Frank Ocean, and Nirvana. While that alone is an achievement in itself, it doesn't come as a surprise that Lauryn's debut album is still being celebrated as the best of the best, even after all these years. For the artist herself, her music has meant much more than just receiving awards and gaining recognition amongst the greatest musicians out there. In her own words, Hill's music has a rich, deep narrative and involves so many people and so much sacrifice and so much time and so much collective love. Not only that, but whenever Lauryn was given awards for her music, she made sure to remind everyone that her success wasn't just hers. It was also a testament to all the hard work and love poured into her music by many people over the years. It seems Hill isn't the only person who recognized how layered her music is. People all around the world have too. You see, Apple's Music's top 10 list is the climax of their inaugural 100 Best Albums countdown, which had music fans buzzing with excitement over the past 10 days. Only 5 artists managed to have 2 albums on this prestigious list: The Beatles, Stevie Wonder, Prince, Radiohead, and Beyonce. Pretty impressive company if you think about it. The selection process for this list started several months ago. Apple Music's team of editors and music experts, including big names like Zane Lowe and Ebro Darden, combed through albums from the past 65 years to pick the best of the best. It wasn't an easy task, but they managed to highlight the true gems of the music world. Now that Hill has made her way up the ladder once more, fans all over the world are back to listening to her music, to drown themselves in its richness. But what many people are forgetting is that the artist didn't get to this point easily. Before Lauryn Hill became a music icon, she was already making waves in the entertainment world. She first stepped into the spotlight as an actor in the television soap opera As the World Turns, and later in the 1993 film Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. In these early roles, Lauryn's talent and charisma shone through, hinting at the superstar she would soon become in the music industry. Lauryn was originally a part of a hip-hop trio called the Fugees, which gained recognition in the 1990s. When they dropped their second album, The Score, in 1996, it had become an instant classic, and Lauryn was getting recognized worldwide for her charm. With 17 million copies sold, it made the Fugees the highest-selling hip-hop group of all time. Miss Lauryn Hill's raspy, soulful voice defined their sound, putting her front and center in the music industry. Her eloquent flow and slick wordplay also established her as a legendary MC, cementing her place among hip-hop's elite. After the fame and critical acclaim of The Score, Hill started recording her solo project in 1997 at Tough Gong Studios in Jamaica. The result was The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, a title inspired by Carter G. Woodson's seminal work. Soon, the album received universal critical acclaim and sold 12 million copies globally, making Miss Hill a multimillionaire and a world-renowned music icon. On top of that, the artist's amazing talent and charm quickly made her a star. She was featured on the covers of magazines like Essence and People, and she was named one of Ebony Magazine's 100 most influential Black Americans. But, as incredible as her music had become, the artist's journey hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. After reaching the peak of her career, she stepped away from the limelight. Lauryn felt that being in the spotlight fueled insecurity and distorted her sense of self. In 2006, she told Essence she had to fight for an identity that didn't fit into one of the music industry's boxes at the time. These days, people often see Lauryn as a bit unpredictable. She's known for showing up late to her own shows and even had to serve time in jail for tax evasion. Some people think it's a shame because they see Lauryn as a person who is complex and deserves more appreciation for her cultural contributions. Despite the ups and downs though, what makes Hill so amazing is how she always pushed back against an industry that often tries to strip Black artists of their identities. She stayed true to herself and her message, no matter what. 20 years later, Lauryn Hill's influence and the barriers she's broken are still hugely important. So what exactly is in her music that has made such an impact on people even after all these years? From the moment you press play, you're greeted with a laid-back, almost grizzled vibe that runs throughout the entire album. It kicks off with a smoothie jazz instrumental, setting the stage for what's to come. Then, Lauryn hits us with the punchy track, Lost Ones. With a lean production of drums and jutting bass lines, Lauryn doesn't hold back as she admonishes a former partner for mistreating her. But this isn't just your typical heartbroken letter. Lauryn isn't angry, she's disappointed. She makes it clear she's moved on from a relationship that no longer serves her, and all of it comes across perfectly clear in her lyrics. It's funny how money changes situation, miscommunication lead to complication, my emancipation don't fit your equation. If the miseducation of Lauryn Hill has a central message, it's found in the album's fourth track, To Zion. Lauryn herself described it as a song that provides encouragement to women facing challenging pregnancies. It's about making tough decisions and following your heart, even when others advise you to be cautious. Here, Lauryn reflects on her choice to carry her first child to term, despite warnings that it could harm her career. She creates an emotive space where vulnerability is celebrated, especially in the lyrics, unsure of what the balance held, I touch my belly, overwhelmed. This raw honesty and emotional depth are what set Lauryn apart as a lyricist in the eyes of many. In a time when Black women's experiences were often overlooked or dismissed in mainstream media, Lauryn Hill boldly puts her heart on display. She challenges conventions and brings marginalized voices to the forefront. It's this fearless authenticity that makes the miseducation of Lauryn Hill not just an album, but a cultural landmark. One standout track on the album is the masterful doo-wop, That Thing. It bursts onto the scene in 1998, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and snagging 2 Grammy Awards the following year. In this song, Lauryn's perspective is wide-ranging as she warns both men and women against being exploited for sex and money. But she doesn't stop there. Lauryn flips the script, cautioning women too in the lyrics. Girls, you know you better watch out. Some guys are only about that thing, that thing, that thing. It's a powerful message about mutual respect and avoiding exploitation in relationships. Then there's Everything is Everything, a track heavy with strings that serves as a love letter to Black communities while also meditating on justice. With its irresistible funk bounce and clever sampling of Fifth Dimension's 1971 track, Together Let's Find Love, Lauryn commands our attention. In a rapid-fire rap, she urges women to protect themselves from exploitation. Don't be a hard rock when you're really a gem. Baby girl, respect is just a minimum. Throughout the album, Lauryn dives deep into different types of independence, emotional, creative, and personal freedom. Take the song Superstar, for example. Here, Lauryn questions what it means to be an artist in today's world. You can also tell that Lauryn hasn't shied away from letting her own growth and vulnerability show in the album. In the song When It Hurts So Bad, there's a smooth R&B tune where Lauryn talks about how sometimes we need to let go to grow. But it's not all about Lauryn's inner world. Towards the end of the album, she shifts her focus outward. In the powerful track Everything is Everything, she sheds light on the struggles faced by African American communities. With her heartfelt lyrics, the artist urges us to confront social injustices and work towards a better world. In this song, Lauryn speaks directly to those who feel aggrieved, delivering a powerful plea for self-empowerment. Through a mix of singing and rapping, she paints a vivid picture of the rich heritage of African Americans, drawing on figures like Cleopatra, Nefertiti, and Betty el-Shabazz. She reminds us of our ancient roots and influential leaders, using this as a rallying cry for empowerment. Now sure, the lyrics in her songs are like poetry itself, but even the production of the songs matches the depth of the message perfectly. With lush orchestration and cinematic strings, along with a tough backbeat, Lauryn creates a musical landscape that resonates with the soul. What's interesting to note here, though, is that Lauryn didn't just break barriers for women in rap. She also made waves with what some argue is one of the greatest diss tracks in hip-hop history. With Lost Ones, Hill seemingly addressed her personal and professional fallout with Fugees band member Jean. You see, Lauryn and Wyclef went through a rough breakup while they were still members of the Fugees. This messy split didn't just affect their relationship, it led to the breakup of the group itself. Hill, dealing with all these emotions, poured her heart out on record, leading to the creation of Lost Ones. Danielle Smith, former editor-in-chief of Vibe and host of the podcast Black Girl Songbook, dissected Lost Ones in her episode The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill from March 2021. She pointed out how Lauryn's approach is both sharp and refined. While diss tracks are usually about disrespect, Lauryn manages to be respectfully disrespectful. Smith delved into each bar, unpacking Lauryn's subtle digs at her ex's insecurities, manipulation, and hypocrisy. She also highlighted Lauryn's self-awareness as a newcomer to the game and the underlying threat of karma. But right after the intense emotions of Lost Ones, Lauryn takes us on a different kind of journey with I Used to Love Him, featuring Mary J. Blige. This track welcomes the communal embrace of sisterhood and shared pain as Lauryn and Mary analyze their past mistakes and seek spiritual redemption. Despite being one of the more R&B leaning tracks on the album, I Used to Love Him remains underrated in the hip-hop and R&B duet conversation. But that's just Lauryn, always willing to stand out from the crowd and defy expectations. What's really important to consider here is that the artist's impact goes beyond just her music. During a time when the sexualization of the black female body was rampant, Lauryn stood as a beacon of something different. As she wrote for Medium, she offered black women a belief in self and intimate sensuality without succumbing to hypersexualization. Author Joan Morgan describes Lauryn as a breath of fresh air, a hope, and unrealistically, a solution to what was wrong with hip-hop and its representation of women at the time. Lauryn's authenticity and unapologetic self-expression paved the way for a new narrative in hip-hop and R&B, the effects of which we can still see even today. According to Zane Lowe from Apple Music, this album isn't just a relic from the past. It's a timeless masterpiece that feels fresh and relevant with each listen. It has become ingrained in the artistic DNA of young artists, inspiring and influencing them to push boundaries and create meaningful music. Adding to the chorus of praise, singer-songwriter Maggie Rogers highlights the album's ability to bring people together. With its intimate and expansive sound, it sounds like Lauryn invites us into her world, welcoming us into her kitchen and living room. The voices and conversations we hear on the album make it feel authentic and relatable. For an artist like Hill, to claim the #1 spot is not just an accolade, it's a testament to the enduring impact of her music. Her album has touched the lives of countless people, offering solace, inspiration, and a sense of community. Even critics couldn't get enough of this album, and it's easy to see why. Not only did it break records for first week sales by a female artist in the US, but it also snagged 5 Grammy Awards, including Album of the Year. But what makes this album truly special is its musical diversity. Lauryn Hill fearlessly blended reggae, soul, and funk with hip-hop, showing the world what female artists are truly capable of. With over 20 million copies sold worldwide, it's clear that Lauryn struck a chord with audiences everywhere. Despite the album's massive success though, Lauryn hasn't released a follow-up, but instead of dwelling on what could have been, she continues to tour, bringing her iconic songs to fans around the globe. Now, whether Lauryn Hill's creative well has run dry, or the miseducation of Lauryn Hill was a stroke of genius, remains a mystery. What we do know is that the album's message of self-improvement and independence continues to inspire listeners of all ages. And perhaps, at the end of the day, that's all Lauryn wanted to say. What are your thoughts on Lauryn Hill's album breaking records and becoming the #1 album of all time? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.